Hi everyone, Ryan Kish with Racer.com. Welcome to the end of Sunday at Motul Course de Monterey, presented by Hyundai. It was a good start yesterday for Porsche. They qualified on pole in 3 different classes. They did not end there. It was specifically a rough day for the number 7 of Matt Campbell. He sideswiped Jared Andretti into the final corner, was given a penalty for incident responsibility. A few laps later, he sideswiped the wall on the exit of turn 9. A pretty dreadful day for the number 7 Porsche, who ended the day last in class and 32nd overall. It was not a dreadful day, however, for Sebastian Bourdais and Renger van der Zande, who got a much needed win. A fire in the car in Sebring, a mistake with a brake-by-wire in Sebastian Bourdais, both at Long Beach and then earlier in the weekend up at turn 6. They rebound and get a much needed win for that team. Cadillac still leads the Manufacturers' Championship overall. The number 6 of Nick Tandy and Matthew Jaminet was second, so day for Porsche. But starting 1-2, I think they would have liked to have converted that 1-2, that front row lockout, into a win. They did not do that. The 31 of Alexander Sims and Pipo Derani rounded out the podium. They led late in the going. Alexander Sims made a really nice pass around the outside of Renger van der Zande, exiting the Andretti hairpin, but they were not able to hold on to that lead. Meyershank Racing made an interesting tire strategy call. They just went with fuel, didn't replace the tires. It paid off in the short run, but as soon as cars started getting past them, as soon as they lost that track position, they dropped like a rock. They finished the day in 6th. One note in LMP2, specifically John Ferrano was taken to a local area hospital for further evaluation after a crash in turn 5. He was able to open the door himself. He was moving around inside, but was a little bit uncomfortable, so they took him to a local hospital just to check him out and make sure he was okay. Speaking of LMP2, Stephen Thomas and Mikkel Jensen in the number 11 took home the honors. It was a 3-car battle with the 11, the 52, the 04, and it's also a battle with our hot lap track. Thank you. The 52 was second, the 04 rounded out the LMP2 podium. In GTD Pro, it was a story of mistakes. The 79 and the 14 were really the only 2 cars that didn't make mistakes, and it paid off for them because the 79 WeatherTech Racing Mercedes, thank you. Thank you. That was a prototype. I don't think he's supposed to be out there. The 79 WeatherTech Mercedes took home the honors. Danny Unkadea and Jules Goonan, and then the 14 with Jack Hawksworth and Ben Barnicoat was second. But then we get into the list of cars who ran afoul of the rule books. First, the number 9 Pfaff Motorsports. That was the pole-sitting Porsche. This is where Porsche's days really started to fall apart. They ran the red light at pit exit and got a penalty for that. Klaus Bachler was in the car when it happened. A stop plus 60 in the VP Racing Fuels penalty box right there. And then the 3 and the 23, an improper wave-by procedure. They were handed a pretty brutal stop and hold for 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That'll set you way back. Antonio Garcia, he said he just followed Ross Gunn. Well, Ross Gunn didn't follow the rules, and Antonio Garcia followed him right through. They were both penalized pretty harshly for that. So GT2 Pro, a story of mistakes, but it's the 79 and the 14 who are the beneficiaries of it because they kept their races clean. In GTD, it was an absolutely huge weekend for Kelly Moss with Riley. The team's first win, 2 cars on the podium. The number 91 gets top honors. Alan Metney, his first win. The Turner Motorsports number 97 was second. And then a strong weekend from Andy Lally and Magnus Racing with John Potter alongside him as the co-driver. Their final stint was nearly an hour and a half long. Andy Lally just finding fuel in that thing. He was in control of the lead of the race late and going, but I suspect if you're doing an hour and a half long stint, you're going to need to do some fuel saving. So that cost him a bit of pace, and he dropped down eventually to 4th. So just missing the podium, but a good result for that team who added this race to their calendar as a bit of a one-off. Usually they're doing the Michelin Endurance Cup races. So a good showing from them. One final note we should mention, Zane Hodgen. He's a driver in Mazda MX-5 Cup. A pretty big accident in the race this morning. Barrel rolled 5 or 6 times on the exit of turn 9. His car was pretty torn up, but luckily Zane Hodgen was okay. He was checked and released from the infield care center. That's all from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Michelin Pilot Challenge is going to go to the Detroit Grand Prix downtown, right around the GM Ren Center. WeatherTech competitors won't be going there. Most of them will be preparing for Le Mans. We'll see you at Watkins Glen.